As we head into the weekend, let's take a look at the stocks that have broken out this week, along with some that are at crucial levels for the coming week. But before diving into that, let's quickly review how the overall market has performed over the past week. The Nasdaq ended down 2.17%, the S&P 500 dropped 1.67%, the Dow Jones fell 2.9%, and the Russell 2000 saw the biggest decline at 4%. So overall, market sentiment has been weak and several important levels have failed to hold. This means caution is advised when looking for long trades in the upcoming week. I just wanted to mention that I am feeling under the weather today, so this video is going to be shorter than usual and not like my regular uploads. With that said, let me remind you, please consider the stocks covered on this channel as a stock screener. My commentary is not investment advice. Now, let's dive into the list of stocks I have. First up, we have Colgate-Palmolive with ticker symbol CL, which has finally broken out of its 5-month-long downtrend. Now, the concern here is that the stock has attempted a downtrend breakout before, but failed. However, the positive sign is that despite the overall market being down on Friday, CL surged nearly 2%, successfully breaking out. Next, we have Fomento Económico Mexicano with ticker symbol FMX, which has also broken out of its downtrend. But keep an eye on the $92.63 resistance level. A safer entry would be to wait for a pullback to the trend line and only enter if there are clear bullish signals at that level. Then we have Solid Biosciences with ticker symbol SLDB, another downtrend breakout. Similar to FMX, the ideal strategy would be to wait for a retest of the trend line before entering with significant capital. Look for confirmation of bullish momentum before taking a position. Then we have Devon Energy Corporation with ticker symbol DVN, which has also broken out of its downtrend. However, there are a couple of things to keep in mind. First, it has previously attempted a breakout but failed. Second, there's a resistance level around $39 that could act as a hurdle. A word of advice: focus on small but consistent profits rather than chasing massive gains at the wrong entry points. It's far better to enter at a technically strong position and lock in steady profits rather than risk missing out by jumping in at an unfavorable time. Next, we have Pulmonx Corporation with ticker symbol LUNG, another downtrend breakout. The concern here is that after breaking out, the stock has already moved up significantly, so waiting for a pullback would be the wiser approach. Ideally, if the stock returns to around $7.20, that would be a good entry point as it would indicate a retest of its breakout level. But again, only enter if there are clear bullish signs such as a green candle or a wick forming at the bottom of the candlestick. Then we have Valneva with ticker symbol VALN, which is also given a downtrend breakout. The key level to watch here is the resistance at $8.70. All right, now let me show you some examples to explain exactly what I mean by a pullback or a retest. The chart you're seeing on the screen right now is for the ticker symbol GSBD. You can clearly see that this stock has been in a downtrend, and then we had a breakout. Now, by pullback, I mean what you see right here. After giving a breakout, the stock came back down to the trend line and then moved up again. This is the kind of pullback I talk about. You can also notice the green candle forming right. If I had spotted this green candle and entered just before the market closed, in the next 4 to 5 days, I could have seen a return of around 5% on my investment. At that point, I'd have two options. I could either book my full 5% profit or trail my stop loss by setting a 3% threshold. If the stock dropped below 3%, I'd lock in my profit, but if it continued moving up, I could keep adjusting my stop loss to ride the momentum. This is exactly why waiting for a pullback can be a smart move. Now let's look at another example. The next chart on your screen is for the ticker symbol VALE. You can see a clear trend line followed by a breakout, but the pullback doesn't always happen immediately. It can take some time. In this case, the stock eventually came back to the trend line. It touched it earlier too, but at that point there was a red candle, so I wouldn't have entered. But here we see a green candle forming right at the trend line, which is a good entry signal. Now let's calculate the potential return. If I had entered at that point, I'd be sitting at an 18% profit by now. Again, the choice would have been mine. Either book my profits at 5 to 6% in a few trading days, or trail my stop loss and hold for a bigger move. Now, moving on to another example, the chart on your screen now is for the ticker symbol AMAT. A very similar pattern here. We had a downtrend breakout followed by a pullback, and right when the stock touched the trend line again, we got a green candle. If I had entered there within 4 to 5 trading sessions, I'd be sitting at around 18% profit. So this is why I always emphasize waiting for a pullback before entering a trade. Now, do pullbacks always work? No, of course not. But the advantage is that if the trade fails, your stop loss will be minimal since your entry is so close to the trend line. No strategy in the market is foolproof. Unexpected news, earnings reports, or macroeconomic events can send stocks in the opposite direction. But if you keep your greed in check and stick to a disciplined strategy, making 4 to 5% per trade without much stress is very achievable. The key is to remain patient and only enter the stock at the right level. This requires strong discipline and willpower. Equally important is booking your profit without any regrets, even if the stock moves significantly higher after you've exited the trade. The goal is consistency. Oh, and for the record, we have covered both GSBD as well as AMAT on this channel when they had just broken out of their downtrend. This reinforces the importance of tracking breakouts early and waiting for the right pullback to maximize the trade potential. All right, now let's move on to the next set of 3 stocks. The first one is American Electric Power Company with ticker symbol AEP. This one is very close to giving a horizontal breakout. The chart on the screen is pretty much self-explanatory, so I'll leave it at that. Then we have CrowdStrike Holdings with ticker symbol CRWD. This one is a horizontal breakout retest stock. You can see that it made a high of about $400 a stack, then gave a breakout and reached up to $450, and now it's coming back to the $400 mark. This is the kind of pullback that I often talk about, where the stock revisits its breakout level before potentially continuing its uptrend. Then we have Kroger Company with ticker symbol KR. This stock recently gave a breakout. I missed covering it 2 weeks ago, but since it hasn't moved much since, I thought now would be a good time to bring it up. Keep an eye on this one and see if it comes back for a retest. Similar to what I'm showing on the screen, you can see the highlighted yellow line, which marks the breakout level. The stock came back, retested the level, and then bounced exactly from there. This is the kind of setup we look for. All right, now let's move on to the next set of 4 stocks. These stocks are currently at their support levels while being in an uptrend. The first company in this segment is SiTime Corporation with ticker symbol SITM. The chart you're seeing is pretty much self-explanatory, so I won't go into the details. Next up, we have NMI Holdings with ticker symbol NMIH. If you decide to enter this trade, I would strongly recommend entering as close to the trend line as possible and only if you see clear signs of bullishness. If the trend line breaks, especially considering the overall market has turned bearish over the past week, expect a very sharp fall. When a trend breaks, the drop is usually steep, so if that happens, you might even consider a short position. But I'll leave that decision to you. The third company with a very similar pattern is Mayville Engineering Company with ticker symbol MEC. The setup is quite similar to the previous ones, so I'll leave it at that. And the fourth and final company in this segment and for the day is Brandywine Realty Trust with ticker symbol BDN. This stock is also approaching its uptrend support, so keep these 4 on your radar and let's see how they behave in the coming week. If this is your first time on the channel and you haven't seen the previous videos, here are some recent breakout stocks you might have missed. I'll simply display the ticker names and the charts will tell the story. Just sit back and enjoy the background music. if you're new to the channel, you might not know, but I've been working on a penny stock screener using coding. My longtime subscribers know that I come from a software engineering background, and I use algorithms to identify stocks that I discuss in my videos. Now, I'm applying the same approach to penny stocks, and I need your feedback. Below are the criteria I've set so far to identify fundamentally strong stocks. Let me know if you think these are sufficient or if any additional filters should be included. 1. Market cap should be under 5 billion USD. 2. Revenue must have increased year over year for the last 4 years. 3. Profit must also have grown year over year for 4 years. 4. Earnings per share EPS should show consistent growth over the past 4 years. 5. Profit growth compared to the previous year should be at least 15%. 6. Profit margin should be above 15% in the last 12 months. 7. Return on equity ROE should also be above 15%. Right now, based on these filters, I have around 30 to 35 results out of 3,000 plus stocks. If I add more filters, the number of results will decrease further, so I need your input. Would you like to see additional criteria, or do you think these are enough? Drop your suggestions in the comments, and if a particular idea gets enough votes, I'll consider adding it to the program. I still have some testing and fine-tuning left, and I also need to finalize how I'll edit and present these penny stock videos. But once everything is set, I'll start releasing in-depth videos on fundamentally strong small-cap stocks. That's it for today. I had to keep it short as I'm not feeling great. Thanks for watching, drop a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.